Hello, hello, hello. It's time. My brain just stopped. It's time for... Well, that's ironic for what I was actually going to say. It's time for Big Brain. At least the goal is Big Brain. We are going to simply hope that as we go through this and our battles today, that I don't have a total wipe like that very first battle of the game. A few things are now in play. Of course, we have a lot more units now. We have a little bit more knowledge of the game, stuff like that. But a big thing is I went and I created our little spreadsheet here. You can't see it, and I can't really show it. But I have every single character and all of their stats recorded, with some special notes. And then I have a separate page where I simply go and take our own stats, the enemy's stats, and then record things like the distance apart, the height difference, what the actual damage done is, and the actual accuracy of the move. If we collect this enough times, we'll start to see a trend. I hope. And then we can figure out what the actual correlation is between all the stats. Worst comes to worst, we don't see a trend. And I put my coding skills to work and I build a learning algorithm that's going to go through all the data for me and figuring out, since I'm apparently blind. If it gets to that point, at least. But I think there's much more for us to do besides begin. Here we go. There we go. Everything appears to be working. As we left off, we had united with Frederica, and the several powerful people from Glenbrook, Esprust, and Hyzante, not Mezant. I was like, something's not right there. It's Hyzante. Had all met up in the Crown City. Held a little party. And it is now time for the tournament. I'm scared. To say the least. We have a few things of note. One is that our roster is completely skewed. I mentioned this last time. But we also do have some new additions to our roster, which I think I can be excited about. Take for example... Anna. One of her special abilities is that she can take 2 item actions in a turn. Well, maybe not item actions, maybe that's not the right one. She can take 1 move action and then 2 combat item, whatever you want to call it. I just realized I didn't actually select her on here. Where is she? Anna, there we go. She can take one move action and then 2 item or combat or whatever sort of actions. She can also apparently at some point conceal herself. However, I don't wholly know how to yet. I don't know if that's an ability or not. We also have our first archer, who's a hawkbow, which is very Huette, who is a hawkbow. I cannot speak. And we get some interesting things. One is this, which I just now realized I forgot to mark. You are this row. There we go. Hawksbane, weak to arrows, which kind of sucks. But we have an interesting weapon. Bow allows for an incredible height difference to be made. And with a jump of 32, I think we can make some of those height differences occur. There's also something along the lines that the guide told us that the range changes based on height. It's on how high or low the person is to us. The greater in height Huette is to her opponent, the farther she can shoot. Which makes sense, but we don't have an exact equation for it, so we'll have to figure that out ourselves. I don't think there was anything else super special that we saw. Oh, I guess we can point out that there's the Knight's Bane, which is increases damage taken from spears. So we need to keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. So let us begin. Journey.
The combatants have arrived, and the stage has been set. Let us introduce the champions who will fight for the glory of their nations. Fighting for the honor of the Grand Duchy of Esfrost, General Avlora. Fighting for the honor of the holy state of Hyzante, Minister Exham Marshal. Fighting for the honor of the Kingdom of Glenbrook, House Wolfort. And last but not least, the victor of our previous tourney, Sir Maxwell the Dawnspear. Hurrah! Hurrah!
The Wolfort Lordling is here in his father's stead, I see.
Lord Simon's heroics on the battlefield are the stuff of legend. A pity I couldn't match swords with him today.
You will match swords with me. I promise to make it every bit as exhilarating as Father would.
You have his spirit, if nothing else.
Indeed. I look forward to crossing swords with you.
The combatants have assembled. Now, let the battles begin! I shall announce our first pairing as chosen by lots. Minister Exham and Lord Wolfort, make ready for combat!
Okay. So it's 1v1 stuff. Oh. Oh, okay. So that's how this is gonna work. Oh boy. Okay, so we can serve the battlefield, place units, and return to the encampment. Decimate the enemy forces. Not just eliminate all of forces, but decimate. Okay. That's a bit much, don't you think? Oh well. Unit placement, let's take a look. You change the initial placement of your units before the battle begins. Select the unit you wish to move with the A button. Then press A on the new square once more. The square you've already selected as a unit, they will swap places. Oh, see, since I turned off the directional adjustment, now my, now my directional inputs are actually... Okay, see, no, this feels about right. And I'm okay with this. Yeah, okay. And it still just makes it feel a bit easier to move around like this, though. Okay, so let's think this through. Please. There we go. Interesting. So you can tell who's a boss and who's not. Simply by things like resist instant death and other status effects and stuff like that. However, what I am noticing is that there's no one with any particular weaknesses. Here, you see that magic will work well against the grunts. But physical attacks will probably work better against the bosses. And they all strike with physical attacks. Yeah, everything is all physical. So we need to be leading with physically attacking members. Such as Eridor, Benedict, change it like this, and Serenoa. Our mages need to be in the back. Unfortunately, this isn't Fire Emblem, and we don't get like a Kanto or something like that with Roland. But that's fine, I guess. I think it's better... Yeah, it's probably better more like this, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm now starting to suddenly see the appeal of the adjustment. I like a free camera, but I think I prefer the adjustment. How about that? Okay, let's go into... I'm sorry, I'm going to be changing my settings quite a bit. Until I finally find something that's just kind of comfortable to sit with. Wait, no, I didn't go in... Ah. Okay, now this feels kind of right. Okay. Okay, yeah, this feels about right now. Okay. Sorry if I'm messing with that, and that's getting annoying. I think Huette, just being a simple ranged attacker and not having any sort of height advantage that we can take advantage of, I think it's going to be, yeah, everything is 6. I noticed specifically it says freezable. That's interesting. But Anna and Roland are physical attackers, but they aren't frontline members. Or these guys are definitely not frontline members, so we're going to keep them in the back. Okay, let's go with this. I don't think there's really much that we can do in terms of that. So let's go ahead and I guess let's begin the battle. And I hope it goes well. We're going to use some bigger brain strats this time. We got this.
Be gentle, my lords. I'm not as strapping as once I was.
I expect no quarter from you, Prince Roland, nor from you, Lord Serenoa. Show us the swordplay your house is so famous for.
They're two of Hyzante's most famed generals. We'll have no room for mistakes.
About that.
Then we shall make none. Now, let us show the realm the mettle of the new generation.
I like that though.
For honor and glory!
I will end this.
Okay, so let's take a look at your abilities. Act twice. Grants 2 actions during a single turn, but can only move once. Yeah, so two like item or ability actions. Okay, so at the current moment, I'm not seeing much. I don't know, yours... Sorry, I'm gonna pull this up now. No, I'm gonna actually go and use this since it's easier than navigating through menus. Your physical defense... is... actually fairly high. Did I record that correctly? Oh yeah, your physical defense is actually fairly decent. I don't exactly like you staying out there. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just end our turn here.
My turn.
No. I know, I need to be careful to stay... I just realized the 2 horsemen will actually be effective against each other. Roland's physical defense is a little bit lower, so I'll keep him 1 back, especially since he would kind of struggle with the lance
Realize
user.
the gulf between our skills.
This battle is ours.
You're going to be able to move, aren't you? Yes, yes you will. I think you can take it. I think you can take 1 hit from the spearman. I think you can take 1 hit from the spearman. Okay, so let's start recording things. I'm gonna start doing it now. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I need to be sure that I'm doing this right. This might just be a thing that I do in VODs, now that I'm thinking about it. In this case, the attack power would be 29. It is not magic. The tile range in this case would be 3. The height difference would be 0. Yeah, this is probably just going to be a odd thing. Okay, yeah, so I'll just have to show enemy stats on screen. Just go through them all right now. Fortunately, that one will be easy to go and figure out since this one's just tile differences and not height differences. Okay, but yeah, go ahead, hit him. It's gonna be like that, huh?
Defeat is not an option.
Ah! I really wish it would lock to 90 degrees. As I mentioned before, isometric is great if you can move 360 degrees. Yeah, we're just gonna end turn. Yeah, that's fine.
I see a path to victory.
Let's go and use it on you.
Let us steel our defenses.
Our victory is assured.
Come at me!
Raise your movement by 1. Chance to infuriate all enemies. And then just a simple deal physical damage. You know what? Let's just hit him. Ow.
Now then!
I shall do what I can.
Let's go with you. You have lower
Allow
health.
me.
The tides are turning.
Let me show you what I've learned.
Okay, so that's the guy who's moving next. So I can go and move you here. And set Scorch to be this. I think that'll work well.
2 ashes.
Certain maneuvers will reward you, or award you kudos, which can be traded for valuable items at the encampment Sundry Shop. Sundry Shop is not available at early stages of the story.
Time to work.
Just die already!
And then act twice, which allows us to go and do this again.
Have another!
Nice.
For victory!
not gonna do too much. We go here instead and then do double thrust. It's still not gonna do too much. Let's see, what is your movement range? It's 6, so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you won't be in their way. Let's go with this.
You are not worthy of my time. It ends here.
Ouch.
I'm a fool.
And he's down.
The reputation is well deserved. But the day isn't lost yet. Roland, I trust you to see us through to victory.
And we already lost the main character. Alright.
The hunt is on.
Okay, I'm gonna send you over here. And you're gonna get rid of this guy.
Goodbye.
Just die already! I shall try my level best.
So you're the one who's up next. And then it'll be you. I don't know, I should be specifically going and buffing people.
A brief respite.
Splendid.
Oh man.
Damn it.
Nice try! To battle, I suppose. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Okay, let's see if we can just provoke everybody.
I'll be your shield.
So it'll be you next, and then you, and then you. Okay, so I'll have time to do other things. So that changes are denoted with an icon and a turn counter. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, okay. Poison deals damage at the start of each turn. Paralysis prevents actions. Silence prevents abilities. Sleep prevents actions. Attacks will always be critical hit and wakes up upon receiving damage. Immobility prevents movement. Blindness reduces accuracy. Fury draws targets. Tempt lures target to the opponent's side. Instant death kills unit instantly. Auto revive automatically revives. HP regen is regen. Invincible ignores all damage. Take cover renders unit invincible to the enemy. Unit is unveiled upon attacking an enemy, standing directly before an enemy, or taking damage. Fire counter and ice counter are corresponding counters. Act again is twice in one turn. Stop prevents from taking actions. Protect allows caster to take damage for unit. Guaranteed critical is exactly what it sounds like. Absorption converts a specific element's damage to HP. Delayed damage deals damage after a set number of turns. Extended range extends range. Protective aura reduces damage taken.
Shall we begin?
Do you have an effect on you currently? No? Okay. I need Frederica to stay alive.
Be at ease. I can keep fighting. I fight for peace.
Okay, what if I said... Oh shoot, you could theoretically go and hit me there, but that's fine. What if I go here? Oh, I guess do that, you could, yeah. Okay, we'll go here.
Flames, heed my call.
Man, this is difficult.
I will end this.
Have another!
So that's cool. So we can go and act once. Then go... and move. Then act once more. So in this case, now go and
I
heal.
owe ya. For victory!
Can now also spend my time focusing on you. I can't tell which way he's facing. Okay, yeah, so if I go here, I'm gonna get the, I'm gonna get it. Okay. 32 is just better.
You don't stand a chance. Did you see that? I shirk from no danger.
You are not worthy of my time.
Ooh, yikes. This is not gonna go well.
Ouch!
Yeah.
I see your every opening.
This battle is ours.
We'll say that it is nice.
Yeah.
That he's not using the full extent of his spear with this whole thing. Because he's only targeting them. But dang it, there goes my AoE attacker with Frederica.
There is no mercy on the battlefield. Stay composed.
Aye, I'll keep on then. I'll show you what I'm made of.
So I can get rid of you, but I don't think I'll survive until the next turn, so I think I'm going to use this.
Now or never.
We'll still face this way.
Shall we begin?
Step over. Really need to pay attention to turn order. It's probably just best to heal yourself, yeah?
Your wounds are healed.
My growth is plain to see. I will end this.
I think this might be the smart decision. Just go and start wearing him down.
I won't lose.
And then, you know what? We're gonna go for it. Oh, right, yes. I need to start wearing you down.
You brute! Did you see that?
Shall we begin?
Yeah, I know, that's gonna hurt.
My aid is yours.
I didn't realize that they came one after the other.
Damn it! I underestimated them.
The hunt is on.
I'm gonna make a risky move. Never mind, it's not worth the move. I think we can get rid of that rogue. No, not that. Oh, dang it. No, 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 we can still do this. We can go back here. And we can get you.
Goodbye! This battle is won.
Die already! I love the battlefield.
Face that way.
There is no mercy on the battlefield.
Go with Anna.
Stay composed.
Oh?
You won't beat me!
I'm gonna use provoke again.
I'll be your shield!
Dang it, you resist it, but you aren't immune to it, and I know that much because the other guy has it as a resistance as well.
Shall we begin? Be at ease.
Thank you.
Your orders?
We're just gonna keep on wearing him down, I think.
This will
Learn
prove
to throw poison. Well, how about we throw poison? You're not immune to poison, you don't even resist it.
This'll hurt.
I have no idea how much damage poison is going to do, but hope it does a lot. 17, dang.
It ends here. By her grace.
The hunt is on.
Oh man. So that gets me down to 18. What if I go like here? Up to 13. Let's go for it.
Yeah! This is good. That hit the mark.
I didn't think about
My
that.
aid is yours.
Come at me! Come on!
You can't do too much to him. You can do a pretty decent chunk, but
My turn.
still not that much. I can throw poison at you again.
You won't escape.
Goddess, I thank you for your blessing this day. A worthy foe is a glorious gift indeed.
You find the goddess in odd places, Exam. This trifling tourney will bring Hyzante neither riches nor glory.
The goddess works in myriad ways, Minister Sorsley. You would do well to keep your eyes attuned.
Well, how about we throw poison again, but this time we throw it at the other guy. Why can I not? Oh, because he's considered an obstacle? Oh, shoot, okay. Okay, let's go with this.
Victory is in reach. I shall do what I can.
Oh, dang it. Try and use Cure Wounds on you.
I needed that.
Ah, so close.
I'll take this one.
Time to take flight.
Okay, if that gets rid of you, then it gets rid of you, and I am happy.
My pride is my shield.
Me facing this way.
To work then. It's only a flesh wound. Now or never.
Yep, and you're still Angie. Really, you didn't go for the follow-up, huh?
Your orders?
No, here's what I can do. I can use Iron Dagger. Gotta think this through. Then I can walk over to the spoils. And then use Throw Poison.
This'll hurt.
Dang it.
I'll cut you down.
Cool heads shall prevail.
You'll go ahead and do that.
Thank you.
I asked for no quarter. You did not disappoint. Perhaps one day we can fight as allies.
Yes, please.
Minister Sorsley, I leave the rest in your capable hands.
Here I come.
%40 chance of blindness.
Darkness engulfs you. This
Have
battle is won.
another. You won't beat me.
Can I provoke all of them at once? Am I in a position to be able to do that? No, I can only provoke 2 of them. Try it.
Come and get me.
No!
My turn.
Have another.
This'll hurt.
There we go.
Have another!
Nice.
Nice try!
Ouch.
You've been weakened.
I'm going to go over this way, and I'm going to use Cure Wounds on myself.
Your wounds are healed.
And since my turn is going to come around before yours, I think I'll be good.
Time to take flight.
Why can't you go and do it? Okay, let's go with this.
Darkness engulfs you. Victory is ours.
It didn't blind.
Your orders?
Can I do throw poison against you? I can. So I'm going to do it twice.
This'll hurt. Victory is within reach.
Or no, I only need to do it once because now at the start of your turn, you're gonna And you already have 2 things of poison, so we'll go with the standard.
Yeah,
Just die already!
it's for life.
When do you learn take cover? Level 6.
Ha! That tickled!
Come on.
I'll be your shield!
There we go. Ah, it's more like it.
I ain't that slow!
Oh.
Shall we begin?
Okay. I think we're good. I think we got him. These cure wounds on you because you're the one being targeted.
That's the stuff!
Knowledge is
For
strength.
those in need,
Time to take flight.
grants additional HP to allies at 50% or less of their maximum HP when using health restoring commands. Oh, so that wasn't a by default it does more when healing. That's a... You unlock... Okay. I feel like that could have been worded a little bit clearer, but it's fine since you earn it early enough. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah!
You're wide open!
Time to work.
Supper. You've made a grave mistake.
It works.
This'll hurt.
I'll take you on!
And then we'll just end turn.
Shall we begin?
I can just bonk him with a 90% chance, so I'll take it.
Down with you!
Ah, my old wounds flare up again. I can fight no further.
Oh, it's still pretty bad. Pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But it wasn't as bad. It was not as bad as it could have been. We ended with 4. when we walked in with 8. We only lost half of our units. Not 2/3 of it. Right, because in the first one, we had Benedict, Frederica, Serenoa, Gila, and Roland. Oh no, so 3/5. We only lost half instead of 3/5. So not much better. But we did it. Oh man, some of our units are still at level 1 now though, and that's rough.
To think they'd get the better of us.
Your father taught you well. You wield that greatsword with skill beyond your years. Well fought. The day is yours.
Victory goes to House Wolford! Our next bout shall be between General Avlora and Sir Maxwell. May glory go to the victor.
Stand back. This one is mine.
Very well. I accept your challenge. Whoever taught you, they taught you well. Though something tells me you surpassed your teacher long ago. Your defense is formidable.
As is yours. I yield.
Victory goes to Sir Maxwell!
My hand. I can't feel it. So that was General of Laura. I pray never to meet her on the battlefield. There will be no quarter given today, young lord of House Wolfort.
I would expect nothing less. Huh? Where am I?
Ah, you're awake. And none the worse for wear, considering the blow you took from Sir Maxwell.
He was too strong for us in the end.
Today, yes. But let us keep at our training. One day, the students will surpass their master.
Let us work hard for that day, my friend.
I was wondering if we were actually going to have to go through the fight and it was going to be like a force lost where they're just too crazy powerful or whatever. But no, they just... yeah, okay. Man, our party's so skewed right now. Better find a way to go and fix that.
Serenoa and his stalwart allies prove their mettle against the realm's fiercest warriors before finally facing Sir Maxwell, victor of the previous tourney. After a hard-fought match, the Dawn Spear emerges victorious once more. Though beaten in the end, Serenoa's courageous display impresses itself upon all in attendance. Any doubts concerning House Wolfort's martial might are put to rest. thus marks an end to the tourney and the festivities as a whole. With the spirit of harmony in their hearts, the delegates of each nation make preparations for their return voyages.
Seeing our honored guests off shall be your last lordly duty this day. Now, I remind you.
It is not to be taken lightly. Worry not, Benedict. They shall be sent off with all the pomp they deserve.
You take to your new role well, Lord Serenoa. As I must now take to my own. Pray, visit me at the mines whenever you have the time.
Farewell, Frederica. May we never meet again.
Thank you for such a productive use of our valuable time. I do so love interminable speeches and watching brutes play at war. Truly, the spirit of Glenbrook was on display for all to see. Oh, but I should watch my tongue. Wouldn't want her to go whimpering to brother.
Pay my fool cousin no mind. We have work to do. Work more important than any he could hope to be trusted with.
I apologize for those two. This was a fruitful day for all in attendance.
I am glad to hear you say so, General of Flora.
I can't believe we lost. I thought you were supposed to be one of Hyzante's greatest warriors.
Our foe was a worthy one. It would be an honor to cross blades again someday.
Thank you for your hospitality. Please give my regards to Lord Simone.
Of course, Minister.
It would seem everyone is gathered. You'll find your boats are laden with a bounty of Glenbrook's finest wares and victuals. King Regna asks that you eat and drink your fill, and toast to our three nations' newfound alliance.
More of that swill you call wine? I suppose I could force myself to partake.
Your king honors us with his generosity. We shall present these as offerings to the goddess of salt. The Hierophant, too, will no doubt be overjoyed.
Lord Wolford, I bring a message from King Regna. He would have you join our guests on their return voyage to serve as their envoy.
This is a great honor, my lord. You would represent our nation and speak with the king's voice.
If it is His Majesty's wish, it is a duty I will gladly accept. But there are two vessels and only one of me. Did King Regna say which of our honored guests I should accompany?
He would leave that decision to you, Lord Wolford.
Lord Falks, as representative of another of Glenbrook's high houses, will board the ship you do not.
And why was House Tellior not given this honor? Last I knew, our kingdom had 3 high houses, not 2.
Mere fact that you whimper those words before us is answer enough. Good show at the tourney, Lord Serenoa. You truly are your father's son. The king has seen fit to leave this decision in your hands, and I shall not gainsay his wisdom.
A lord must be worldly as well as wise. I trust you will conduct yourself as befits the lord of a high house.
Thank you, Sir Maxwell, Lord Falks.
The king has entrusted this decision to you, my lord. I suppose you have an idea as to why.
means to test my judgment. He is waiting to see which I choose and for what reason.
Indeed. We are friendly with both nations now, so neither choice will earn his ire. That said, there is no telling how these relations may change going forward. No doubt, the choice you make will have an effect on our own house's relationship with the nation you choose.
I understand. This requires careful consideration. Benedict, gather the others. I would hear their opinions on the matter. Then we shall consult the scales of conviction.
At once, my lord.
Time for democracy. Tavern is now available. And now the sundry shop is available. So that's why I was telling us about it. Oh gosh, just look at this. Level 1, the main character is level 1. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, let's go into the encampment. Check out a couple different things. So you are the sundry shop. And we can promote classes. Every unit has a class, and each class is divided into ranks: recruit, veteran, and elite. Promoting a unit will increase both their stats and maximum TP, and acquire new unlockable ability, or unlock new acquirable abilities. Raising a class will also change their appearance in battle. You only promote a unit's class if they are at or above the specified level and you have the appropriate medal. Promoting a unit's class will consume the medal. This increases his magic, really? Increases magic defense. Actually doesn't increase anything. Through a lot of skills though. Doesn't increase anything, we get choose skills. Increases physical defense. Doesn't increase anything. Doesn't increase anything. Plus operates not in coin, but kudos. Kudos can be exchanged for all sorts of items, including quietuses? I don't know. I have no idea what that word means. And medals. Okay, cool. They're, I'm assuming those are called quietuses. Their commands executed immediately in battle and differ from abilities in 3 ways. They do not consume a turn. They consume QP, not TP. And each one may only be used once per battle. Medals are used to promote a unit's class. They come in limited quantities, and new medals will be added as story progresses. Okay. We can get lore. I'll take lore. Maybe we'll end the stream reading the lore. We won't read lore yet. Or I don't know, should we read the lore first? I don't know. Then we have a tavern. You can engage in mental mock battles at the tavern. Each battle is different, so choose the one that best suits your aims. Ah. So this is how we go and we catch up on anybody who's died frequently or stuff like that. Okay, so we don't... So if someone gets behind... Okay. There's a limit to the number of units you may deploy in battle. Units over this threshold go into your reserves and will not participate in battle. Use the X button to access the screen where you can change deployed and reserve units. Units that may prove especially helpful in battle. Oh. Armrect is recommended, but there is no penalty if you do not deploy these units. Okay. I think it's pretty clear that we want magic. I see one dude who looks pretty heavily armored. Buffing, healing, and then 2 characters who need the training. Anna doesn't need it, so let's go with Huette.
At your service.
She's the next lowest. Nice and easy mock battle. Well, easy may not be the right word. Okay, let's go with this, I guess. I don't know. I don't think anybody's strong enough to truly stand alone right now. So I can't go and split up this team. Now that I'm actually thinking about it.
I won't lose.
So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna end turn, and we're gonna face forward.
This battle is ours.
We again don't have anything here that we can really do. 90% chance of inflicting blindness, that's pretty nice.
You'll get no mercy from us.
It's like this.
From where shall we strike?
We'll end turn and we'll face forward.
I see a path to victory.
Let's go something like this. And we're gonna go with Bulwark right here.
Let us steel our defenses.
We're gonna try and let him go and be a tank. We're gonna try.
I shall do what I can.
And with this, we can cure everyone in range, but we're gonna end turn because there's no one to cure right now.
I fight for peace.
Do this and we use Scorch. You're actually weak to that. Let's go ahead and let's do that.
Flames, heed my call. It worked.
Gonna do that. Okay.
For victory.
Okay, so that won't work.
Brace yourself.
Okay, and then we face this way.
Careful.
Ooh, okay. Ice Arrow is a thing. Casting an ice attack on a freezable square will freeze it. So there are exceptions to this rule. Squares that are frozen reduce the mobility and accuracy of any unit standing upon them. Frozen tiles can be melted by fire attacks, though there are, of course, still exceptions.
Defeat is not an option.
Okay. Well, which way are you currently facing? You're currently facing that way, so I can go here. It still won't do much. Okay. Let's go with this and let's delay your turn. I'm still gonna face this way. Oh, you're still able to get around? Ooh, yikes.
The hunt is on.
I can hit you with an AoE. So it's unnecessary for me to go and try and finish you all. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is very confusing. Okay, so I'll at least have... Okay, I'm not gonna lie, turn order thing is a little bit confusing since I can rewind in turns. I don't know why I would be able to do that. So, I don't know. That's a little weird, not gonna lie. We're just gonna hit you with another with a blinding arrow.
You'll get no mercy from us.
The blindness works.
Yes.
The crit there.
Shall we begin?
And yes, I would like to heal you up.
Thank you.
Ouch. Still missed a follow-up though, that's good. It would probably be best to go and give you Bulwark.
Stay composed.
Ready for more.
My knowledge grows deeper.
I will end this.
Okay, now we're gonna use Scorch. Right here.
Flames, heed my call.
And we'll move here and we'll face this way.
Close, but not quite.
Good.
Sheer goal.
Get rid of you.
It ends here. You've left yourself open.
Nice.
From where shall we strike?
And I'll just simply end my turn. And we'll face this way.
Time to take flight.
We go with the blinding arrow here.
From this range.
Nice.
I shall try my level best.
At this point, I think I should probably boost you.
Time to strike.
You can be doing a little more damage alongside.
I shall do what I can.
You have Roland again.
My apologies. Maybe next time.
There we go.
I will end this.
Would it be wise for me to go and do this? Probably not. I'd say just stay here and then turn.
Careful.
Forward. I'll make this quick. For my kith and kin. Charge.
I don't know, let's use double thrust on you.
You don't stand a chance.
I come.
If you're just gonna stand on there, then that's fine. We'll go ahead and we'll do this.
From this range.
I shall try my level best.
And no, you can just sit here. And we're gonna give. Do we need to give you? We don't need to give you bulwark anymore. Let's give you
have your back.
Raging Beast.
Much appreciated.
I'll have you face this way.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Who needs healing? I guess you technically need the most healing.
Allow me.
This will help.
I will end this.
I think it's fine. I think we can deal with it.
With the powers in me.
Rules will form when it rains, a fire attack is cast on a frozen square, or an ice attack is cast on squares set ablaze, with exceptions. The effects of lightning attacks will travel through puddles, damaging all units standing on them. Oh.
Good try.
Oh, it's a bit worrying that that actually hit. I'm gonna do that.
Be gone. Did you see that?
One more.
Nice, and they both get a level up.
I will do what I must.
Flame Shield.
Forward. That hit the mark.
Time to take flight.
Let's see, how am I gonna handle this? No, that's the one I want. Oh, right, I need to be at range of 2. There we go.
Goodbye. This battle is won. One more. I will fight to my last
You get a level up.
I see a path to victory.
Okay, you're level 4, you're level 4, you're level 3, you're level 3, you're level 4, and you're still level 2.
Let me heal your wounds.
I mean, healing is always nice.
Much appreciated.
Healers unfortunately earn their stuff a lot slower than everyone else. Well, I'm just gonna move everybody out of the way, and then we're gonna keep working on getting our buddy here leveled up. Actually, I'm just gonna stand back. Well, turn.
Defeat is not an option.
And do we get extra from doing this? I don't know if we get extra from doing this, but we'll do the skill anyway.
That hit the mark.
Also, wait your turn. Nice. I was going to make a clip out of that in Octopath. Oh, boss didn't wait their turn. Time to get Divine Aura. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better that I can train. I think, yeah, I was gonna say, you're still a little bit low on level. But the fact that I can train you now makes me feel a lot better. That, I'm pushing all the weird buttons. Should we go for one more? Let's go for one more. Let's go and let's do the other one. Okay, so this is essentially the same thing that we had at the start of the game. Okay, so who should we put in here? We obviously still want a healer, we obviously still want you. Magic will be nice. Take you out of there and put you in.
With pleasure.
Let's go with this. I think this will be the best option. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna push everybody over here first, so that we can start sending on some of these, so that we can train, send them all down in a line. If worse comes to worse, and we need to, like, we just need to like tank through like the first one, like the first battle. This is max HP. Oh, well, I forgot that I grabbed that. I think I saw that at the end of the That's not what I meant. There we go. You struggle a bit with your HP, my guy, so we're gonna give you that for now. Eventually that'll probably get changed around a bit. Our unit placement is still the same. Yes, okay. Okay, I think we're good to start. This is unfortunate. Are you kidding me? That's rough, despite the fact that they were all at the right level. And why does it keep changing my camera? Okay, I think my biggest gripe about this game is the freaking camera. And moving about on the battlefield. Some of the stuff is real jank. I'm not gonna lie about that. There you go. That's cool. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Forward.
Okay, I'm actually just gonna send everybody up here.
I'll make this quick.
I shall try my level best.
And we're gonna give Bulwark to Roland here.
Stay composed.
Ready for more.
I've been waiting for this.
And we're gonna provoke
Look to my shield.
One of them didn't get it. That's fine. I think we can.
I'm a fool. Maybe next time.
Oh, okay. Still got you. We're gonna first heal yours because you don't have much left in you.
Much appreciated.
We'll end our turn facing this way.
Allow me.
There's an ally's ability to resist fire and grant them the ability to counter fire attacks. Okay. These are freezable but not burnable. I see, I see. To be honest, the bowman is probably going to be the biggest problem, so I'd prefer to hit him.
Please, heed my call.
At the very least now.
Yeah. I won't lose.
Oh, see, now I can hit both.
Take that.
Of course I missed one of them. Oof. Okay, good thing we got Fury going on here.
From where shall we strike? Wait your turn.
We've been weakened.
Heal up again, please.
Allow me.
I shall try my level best.
I want to give just about everybody who I can bulwark.
Respite.
Oh.
Come at me.
Okay, provoke everybody.
I'll be your shield.
Okay, that's fine for most of them.
Good try.
I will end this.
Okay, Scorch. Here.
2 ashes.
Frederica.
Oh, dang it.
I'm sorry.
My lord. I won't lose.
Let's see if we can get rid of this guy. I'm actually going to move back 1 space now.
Forward.
We can now get rid of you.
This ends here.
There we go.
Gain
Pursuit
new
stats. Increases accuracy and damage dealt by follow-up attacks. Oh. There you go. Go fight him.
There is no mercy on the battlefield.
We're gonna do this.
Sloppy. I ain't that
Nice.
slow. I'll take you on.
That's about the same for both of them. Let's just go with this guy.
I will end this.
Bonking you won't do me much good. But it'll at least do something, I guess.
Nice try! Right. What to do now?
I can actually go and do that. However, I don't think that's necessary. Maybe it is. Okay, we'll do it.
Be gone! For the honor of House Wolfort. Wait your turn.
Delay your turn from 3 to 8 turns.
I see a path to victory. Stay composed.
You should probably heal next turn, Roland.
Come at me!
There we go. This will be good.
Away! Gotcha!
One more. Allow me.
2 for the price of 1.
Please heed my call.
Okay. And now we can start having some fun with this. I probably should have faced the other way.
Careful.
Oh, never mind, we're good.
It's not over yet.
The healer can't reach anybody. They can't. They're just gonna sit there and do nothing.
I'll try this. Yeah.
Good, good.
And where shall we strike?
Set it up well.
I'll make this quick.
My stratagem is superior. I see a path to victory.
Why not? We'll just be damage dealers.
Now. Too slow. That hit the mark.
Oh, well, that did actually do a pretty decent chunk of damage, didn't it?
I've been waiting for this.
I'm actually gonna go and start moving you back, and then just use sprint.
Push on through.
So then you can just start targeting this guy. Yeah, it won't do much here. Actually, can I still... I can step out of range. I'm gonna step out of range, heal, and then I'll step back in range to go and basically destroy them. Dang it. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have stayed in range. I should have stayed in range right at this tile right here. So then the archer would be forced to move right in the center of them all.
It ends here.
That's fine.
Carefully.
Oh, come on.
These foes are not to be trifled with. Sloppy.
I've been waiting for this.
There we go, I'll go here, and then you can't run.
Push on through.
Allow me.
Do you believe that this one's the best? It probably is.
Flames, heed my call.
I won't lose.
And then we can now, I think, yes we can. Hit him pretty darn hard.
Stand a chance. Too slow. I grow ever stronger.
Nice.
Carefully.
I'm gonna place you here. We're gonna hit you with a delaying strike. Have you face there, and then you'll be the one to go and follow up here.
Now. Now.
Let me show you what I've learned.
I've been waiting for this.
Okay, you know what? Let's go here.
To victory!
Probably should have grabbed that earlier, but I just realized it now. He's just gonna run back there, yeah.
Charge!
So we can do that, and then we give Frederica something, or I can go here and give Sarah Noah something.
It ends here. Did you see that? You've left yourself open.
Nice.
What would Father do?
And now we can just start moving along.
Victory is not yet out of reach.
I fight for peace.
Charge!
Oh, you approach me. See, what is Rush? Rush requires 3. Move 4 squares in a straight line, dealing physical damage to any enemies in 3 squares along the way. Oh. Oh ho ho.
You won't beat me! Hurts, don't it?
What would Father do?
And there we go.
You're wide open!
Nice. So, okay, so now we got both of those. Cool, 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 cool. And now everyone's, like, actually up to stuff. Yeah, we still got Gila and Serenoa at a slightly lower level, but now everyone's sitting at roughly an average of 4. I'm much more okay with this now. As opposed to an average of 2, because half of our party is level 3 and the other half is level 1. This is much better. I do appreciate the fact that they have that, because they understand, probably, that... Okay. We can also now... maybe do you? I don't think I need that. Smithy, on the other hand... let's see... Okay, so the only person who can upgrade something is Frederica. Passive skill increases fire damage dealt with clear weather. I don't know, how frequently are we going to have clear weather in the coming battles? I'm not sure. Or just weapon potency by 5. Let's go with this. I have no idea if this affects abilities? Because if it affects abilities too, then we're increasing all of our damage dealt. Otherwise, we just... If it doesn't affect abilities, then we just increased our basic attack, which kind of sucks, but oh well, I guess we needed it anyway. So, I still can't do anything here because of that. But now I can go and I can do this. I think Restore is a really good item to have. Okay, any side quests of any sort? No? Okay. Onwards we go.
It seems your first test as Lord has come. 'Tis no small matter either.
Interesting, the scale previously had 3, but now it only has 2. So I guess I can bend at will to incorporate whatever decision needs to be made.
Indeed, but I needn't face it alone. I would ask each of you where you think we should go and why. State your case before the scales of conviction. Then we shall decide our destination.
We take a vote and the consensus determines our action. Is that it?
That is correct. So long as my allies walk by my side, their opinions carry equal weight to mine. Such is the way of House Wolford. As Lord, I shall bear the weight of consequence for the Scales' decision, whatsoever they may be.
You are more serious than usual, my friend.
He understands what it means to be Lord of his house.
Well, I hope you have room for a stowaway, because I'm going to. In secret, of course. I trust the new Lord Wolfort will handle the ponderous negotiations and diplomacy with grace.
Your Highness, you cannot be...
You may stay ashore if you wish, Hyzante.
You know I cannot allow that. If you insist on going, then I shall attend you.
Well then, it would seem the matter is settled.
There is exactly 1 coin for each of us.
It seems fate has conspired to bring balance to our proceedings.
How curious.
Curious? I see it as a sign that the heavens approve of my joining you.
You are ever the optimist, my friend.
Shall we proceed, my lord? 1 coin, 1 vote.
Very well. I would hear each of your thoughts on the matter in turn. Then you shall place your coin upon the scales of conviction and illuminate the road ahead.
Okay, so I remember somewhat how this works from the demo a long time ago. Frost or Hyzante? And that we had time to visit both. Although I may not have my own token of conviction, it's my duty to lend an ear to their arguments. An honest exchange of opinions will hopefully lead to a decision that satisfies all who vote. But this story is determined by the consensus of your party as played out through voting scenes. Each of your allies will cast their vote according to his or her own convictions. As a player, you will be bound to the decision of the majority. Before voting commences, you may attempt to persuade the others to change their minds. Whether or not your attempt succeeds will only be revealed when the votes are cast. The strength of Serenoa's convictions will affect the outcomes of, affect the chances of success. The key to winning over your party is gathering the necessary information beforehand. That information will not always be found in the same room where the votes are cast, so be proactive in talking to everyone you meet on your journey. So it's split 50-50 for the people who know what they want. Versus, and then there's someone who is undecided, who is Anna. So let's see. Esfrost is Roland. Huette. And your name begins with an E. Don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me. Eridor. That's your name. Eridor. I'd imagine Huette is simply going along with whatever Roland says. That's gonna be my guess. Benedict, Frederica, and Gila, are saying Hyzante. Benedict's likely saying Hyzante because we already have the best relations with Esfrost, given that we are... Are we married to Frederica yet? Is that actually a thing now, or is it still just like they're engaged? I don't know quite how that works, but either way, due to the Frederica being in whatever relationship status currently with us, we have a pretty good relationship with Esfrost already. Frederica probably doesn't want to go visit back home due to the fact that she was discriminated against. And then Gila simply wants to probably be with Frederica. And then there's Anna, who's undecided simply because she probably is willing to just go with whatever I say, given that she serves me as the Lord of the House. Honestly, I think Benedict is probably right. And I also don't want to be like, hey, Frederica, I know you said you're probably not going to want to go back home because you hate it there, but why don't we go visit? So I'm going to try and switch everyone over from Esfrost over to Hyzante. We need to go and speak to everybody. Begin with you.
Lord Serenoa.
Esfrost's soldiers are said to be amongst the strongest in all Norzelia. However, that is only hearsay. I mean to judge them for myself.
Lord Serenoa.
Esfrost or Hyzante, it makes no difference to me. Where you go, I shall follow. Still, I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Interested to hear my preference. Okay, well, we'll wait until we talk to everybody before we... Ow, I just hit my elbow. Jeez. Now my entire arm's tingly. But we're going to talk to everybody before we start trying to convince people.
Serenoa.
I've always wondered when I might visit the country where my mother was born. Oh. How did you spend your youth? I'd very much like to see. Okay. This one will not be easily swayed. Yeah, that's roughly what I thought.
Lord Serenoa, hello.
Until now, Frederica's position has offered her few chances to visit Hyzante. Deepening your relations with the Holy State would doubtless be to your benefit as well. Why not use this opportunity to let Frederica realize a long-held wish in the meantime? You're willing to change, though. But yes, what part of your thing is... Let's examine. I'm not going to see a ladder and not go check it out.
Lord Serenoa.
Hyzante's ministry of medicine is said to be the beacon of progress in both medicine and magic. I believe we could benefit greatly from seeing the fruits of their knowledge with our own eyes. They take effort, but they can be swayed.
Say.
Doubtless Esferos will be a close partner in the days ahead. It'd be wise to see how they live, don't you think? Well, that's actually fair, yeah. But I feel like we already do have good relations with them, so I don't know if we want to completely ignore his aunt. Okay, there appears to be nothing on either of these.
Listen, lad.
Can't very well say his aunt holds much appeal to me. Firstly, an X-Arm are too clever by half. I'm sure the people of Esferos will give a warm reception, even if their weather won't. Negotiating may yet prove fruitful. Oh yeah, I see it. You can't go wrong with a visit to Esferos, considering your new patrol services. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. It's Ronnie and Mr. Betray are waiting to see you off our esteemed guests. They said to ask them if you have any questions on the matter. King Ragnar expects great things of you, Lord Sereno. If there's anything I can do to be of service, simply say the word. Ooh, I can ask about all of them. Can I speak about all of them? Let's talk about his aunt, since that's where I'm more thinking of going. And then if I can go and ask more information about everything, then I will. But of course, your curiosity is only natural, seeing as your domain shares a border with the holy state itself. His aunt is a very devout nation that reveres the goddess of salt and her teachings. The citizens are her followers, and they are led by her oracle, the Hierophant, along with the rest of the saintly seven. Its aunt itself is mostly a desert wasteland, with the exception of the source. They claim complete ownership over the salt within it, declaring it to be a divine boon from the goddess, therefore making it Norzelia's most wealthy and powerful nation. I heard that the people there enjoy peaceful and prosperous lives. You heard right, but appearances can sometimes be deceiving. As you may already know, it's probably best not to take a Rosalind like Lady Frederica should you choose to go to Hyzante. Pray forgive me. Okay, oh boy. I forget myself sometimes. I hope my foolish ramblings have not clouded your judgment. The decision is yours to make, Lord Sereno. I'm sure you will choose the most wisely. I cannot learn of other things. So you aren't going to tell me why Frederica is not going to be welcome there? She's not just not going to be welcome anywhere except for Glenwood, huh? Lord Wolfert, I know your position as head of the house comes with many responsibilities. Being party to Roland's fancies is not one of them. I hope you understand that. Roland is doing what he can for the kingdom in his own way. As his older brother, I'm sure you could see that. Roland may be a prince, but he's also like a brother to me. I swear to do all I can in service of the crown. I appreciate your concern, Prince Franny, and I hope that you and I can be friends as well, just like our fathers before us. I'll go with this one. This is the middle road. I think. A brother, you say? You mean to take my place as that fool's older sibling, then? No, of course not. There's no way I can replace you, Prince Ronnie. But because you are brothers in truth, it stands to reason that you would bicker like siblings. Perhaps it would be good for the royal family if I were to be a buffer between you two. What a curious man you are to offer to play such a part. Do as you please, but I suggest holding on tightly to his reins if you do. Don't indulge him, apparently. Okay. Let's start with you, I guess.
Listen, lad.
Wait, hold on.
Listen, lad.
Brevo say his aunt holds much appeal to me, Source say an X-Arm are too clever by my half. Sure, the people of Westeros will give a warm welcome even there. Okay, so same thing. I don't think that his aunt is probably the best one. I'm gonna go with that. Ah, you want to go to his aunt, do you? Can you tell me why, my lord? Aha! Sand and sun must make people of a different sort there. It'd be interesting to see them. I've long wanted to visit the source. It's the cornerstone of all life in Norzelia, after all. Stories of miracles performed in the Ministry of Medicine have piqued my interest. Such knowledge could help our soldiers and common folk alike. Ha ha!
You're onto something.
Aye, doubtless we can learn from the minds of the Ministry. But that we had such gifted healers and mages at our disposal. Might be we could ask him for a book, but I've always been of the mind that the best learning is done through doing.
I've made up my mind.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the matter, my lord. He is deep in thought and is now determined to be undecided.
Say.
Doubtless Westeros will be a close partner in the days ahead. It would be wise to see how they live, don't you think? What reasons have you for wanting to visit? I just have a feeling. The salt of the source has made them prosperous. I would be interested in seeing how that wealth manifests itself. I'd be fascinated to see a society where everyone is truly equal. However, we were just told that it likely won't be, but we'll go with that.
Certainly.
Indeed, they say Hyzante is a country without kings or nobles. It's hard to imagine. Why imagine when we could see it with our own eyes? An interesting proposal. I wonder what everyone else thinks. Giving me much to consider, my friend. Also now undecided.
Lord Serenoa.
Westeros soldiers are said to be amongst the strongest in all Norzelia. However, that is only hearsay. I mean to judge them for myself. Some has its charms as well, I'm sure. But what about it appeals to you, my lord? Let's just see how their touted equality works in practice. For now, it is only words to me. I would like to visit the source. There is nothing else I like it in the world. It said the skill of their mages is unequaled. Wouldn't you like to test your skill against such warriors? Ha 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 ha!
Quite true.
I have heard the saying. What magic I have seen is impressive enough. I can scarce imagine what a true master could do. I should like to try my hand against one in mock combat, if able. My bow against their spells.
Okay.
Thank you. I suppose there may be some merit in visiting his aunt. Also undecided.
Lord Serenoa.
Westeros or his aunt, it makes no difference to me. Where you go, I shall follow. Still, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Let's go and say his aunt. They say his aunt is a nation of land and salt and sand. You have a reason to go there? I hear everyone is treated as equals. I would like to see the truth of that claim. I can scarce imagine so much sand. I would like to see it with my own eyes. Let's just see what okay, same sort of ministry thing.
Indeed.
I see. I hear the feats performed there beg a relief. Any knowledge we can gain would surely come in handy during times of need. Thank you for sharing, my lord. I see now why you wish to visit his aunt. Now, undecided as well, but that's fine. Should we speak to them anyway?
Lord Serenoa.
shoot, I wasn't paying attention. With the other things, could I back out of it after I had already gone in? Because I kind of want to see what the choices are. Wait, hold on. Can I quick save? Okay, yeah, I'm going to save here. Okay, so I'm going to save there. And now I'm going to go and I'm just going to speak with them to figure out what it is. What they want. What interest have you in the Grand Duchy of Esfrost, my lord? Oh, but see, since I didn't choose that, I can't go and do that. And I can't go back either, okay. Which is the Grandor, a lord to take an interest in how life is lived. Like to visit Frederica's homeland. Okay. Give me 1 minute. We're gonna go... Actually, never mind. I think we can load a save just from here. Let's see what he says about this. Of course, it is only natural that you would have an interest in the home of your patrols. From more of a practical perspective, I would be curious to see how Esfrost's behavior towards our house changes now that we are about to them. I appreciate your point of view, my lord. There is much I must think over before I finally reach a decision.
Certainly not.
Of course, if you have further thoughts on the matter, then I would be all too glad to hear them. Oh. So if I didn't get the first one, I get a chance at the second. Oh. As for us achievements in ironwork are second to none. Have you no interest in seeing those marvels? Truth be told, I find Esfrost's chilling winds much more appealing than the stifling sands of Hyzante. Knowledge is the foundation of power. We can learn much by wandering the archives for a spell.
Quite true.
Ah, the archives. The seat of the world's knowledge. Even the most erudite among us is but a fool before those countless tomes.
I am decided.
Bring me much to consider, my lord. So take your perspective into account when making my decision. He's been moved.
Serenoa.
Oh, so we apparently have something that can now go and change that, as we now have... That now says, not difficult, but possible. Wish to visit Esfrost. Why? I want to see more of your homeland. As your betrothed, and I feel like curiosity is only natural. Truth be told, I prefer the cold to the stifling heat. Such has ever been the case. The people of Hyzante may not be so welcoming as you believe.
No.
Because of my Rosalind. Please, I don't need others to presume upon my feelings. I'm proud of the hair my mother gave. I do not concern myself with the opinions of others. You know, giving quite a bit of thought to this question, Serenoa.
And?
We do travel to Esfrost. How would you like to spend our visit? Oh. You know what? About that. I don't know. I intend to see a relation between our two nations deepened. As much of our own marriage for the future of our mining venture. I was hoping you would show me your home if you were willing. Truly, I shall do my level best to show you the finest Esfrost has to offer.
I see.
I hope it is everything you imagine. It isn't... Well, promise not to think worse of me? Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. I shall consider them as I form my own opinion. Appears indifferent. And one last thing before we go and just redo it. Till now, Frederica's position has offered her few chances to visit his aunt. Deepening your relations with the Holy State would doubtless be to your benefit as well. I will use this opportunity to let Frederica realize the long-held wish. Okay. And the options here. I'll only do the save reload thing once, because I just wanted to see if it was possible to go and talk to everybody and just kind of see the different options. I'll reload. This will be the one and only time that I'll reload for a story decision. Simply because I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here just to see if it was possible to back out of anything. It is not. And at this point, I might as well fully commit. I'm curious to know your reasons. Ah, the captured smuggler. I want to know more about my betrothed. What better way to do that than visit her home? Although Esfrost may be cold, I find the chill much more preferable to the heat. It's the way I heard of a particularly skilled smuggler caught my attention. They have even sent the military after him. I wonder what he could have been peddling. Yes. Although cannot say if we speak to the same person. I did hear tell of a man that had been caught smuggling salt into Esfrost.
Indeed.
Curious. I suppose with this joint mining venture before us, such matters would pique your interest.
My mind
I
is made
believe
up.
I have more than enough food for thought. Okay. And now enough to screw stuff up. We're gonna load. And that'll be the one and only time that I go and I load a save for a story decision like this. I'm not gonna do that anymore. And it is now on recording. Okay. End the persuasion phase as originally intended.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we journey to the Grand Duchy of Esfrost or the holy state of Hyzante? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
You've convinced me.
I did not realize that they would not be saying it. If that is your wish, then so be it. Hyzante is just as good as Esfrost. These three aren't saying anything because I didn't talk to them.
You have my vote.
Where my lord goes, I follow. Fair enough.
I changed my mind.
Hyzante has its charms, I admit. Charms I mean to see for myself.
You won me over.
I'm behind you, my lord. Wow, clean sweep.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
I imagine it's not going to be that easy in future ones.
The way forward is decided. We journey to Hyzante.
Hyzante, not Hyzante. Oops. My bad.
We have decided. We set sail for the holy state of Hyzante. Whether or not it proves to be the right choice will depend on our actions. I trust in you all.
We are ready to set sail, Lord Patriot.
Very good, my lord. When you pay respects to the Holy One and the Saintly Seven, remember that you do so on behalf of our king.
Lord Serenoa, we are honored that you would choose to grace our nation with your presence. That said, I must offer you a warning as well.
It may be in Lady Frederica's best interests to remain here in Glenbrook. I fear there may be some complications were she to come to Hyzante.
Huh? She is half-sister to the Archduke and my betrothed besides. What complications could there possibly be?
None, if I had any say in it. However, the matter is more delicate than that.
Your lady's hair would draw attention. Unfortunately, none of it favorable.
My mother's hair. The pink locks of the Roselle. Mother once told me of how her people fled Hyzante. Then you know how the Roselle are viewed in our nation. How the gospel of the goddess regards them as sinners. Yes, I do. But I am from Esfrost, and I assure you I have committed no sins. Of course, my lady. Very well then. I will do all in my power to see your visit is a pleasant one. Thank you. Pray forgive my outburst.
You've no need to apologize. Still, I must ask, are you certain?
I must go. I would see with my own eyes. See what and how my mother and her people suffered.
I see, I see. You didn't want to see what happy childhood they had, but why they fled.
By order of King Regna, Serenoa escorts their esteemed guests back home, beyond the forest and over the mountains to a vast sand-swept land. Before long, a grand wall of stone rises before them. Known as the Goddess's Shield, behind it lies the source, Nozelia's only supply of salt. Upon the lake shores of the source towers a giant likeness of the goddess, ever watching over the flourishing city and the palace below. This is the holy state of Hyzante.
I had heard tales of the goddess's shield, but its grandeur surpasses even my imagination.
It protected the holy state from both Glenbrook and Esfrost during the war. None in history have succeeded in breaching it. Do you think you might fare better, Lord Serenoa?
I think penetrating these walls would be nigh impossible.
A most courteous answer. I should have expected as much.
What's that sound?
Could this be?
Is this the hour of worship I've heard so much about?
Indeed. Hyzantians offer their prayers up to the goddess's statue every day. They thank her for her blessing, for bestowing us with the source, from which all Norzalia's salt is harvested.
To see every citizen pray is astonishing.
The goddess truly is at the center of all Hyzante, just as the stories say.
Even so, are there none who'd use this time of worship to rob their fellow citizens?
There are none so misguided among the goddess's believers.
All Hyzantians are guaranteed food, clothing, and shelter. The Holy State has done everything in its power to eliminate poverty and ensure equality. As a result, no one envies others or craves riches for selfish reasons.
Certainly, if everyone were equal, there would be naught to fight about.
But achieving absolute equality is impossible.
The words of an unbeliever. The goddess showers her blessings fairly upon all who follow her teachings.
Before we visit the Hierophant, there is one thing I must tell you about Lady Frederica.
Under normal circumstances, the head of our nation would not permit an audience with one of Rosellan extract. We have explained the circumstances, however, and she has been granted special permission to enter the palace as an envoy.
That said, we would ask that Lady Frederica remain silent before the Holy One.
Silent? Why?
I reiterate that typically she would not be so much as allowed to attend. We ask for your understanding of our creed.
You mean to treat one of Glenbrook's delegates as if she weren't even there?
Prince Roland, you are here in secret. It would not do for you to gainsay another nation's religious creed. I have no objections.
My apologies.
You needn't apologize. Let us do what we came here for.
We appreciate your understanding. Now then, let us show you to the palace.
That is where the Hierophant resides.
The Hierophant imparts us with the goddess's divine messages.
This is the Saintly Seven's Minister of Domestic Affairs, Kamsel Farant. He manages all matters related to the nation's public order.
None are allowed to look upon the Holy One's face. None save Minister Edor, who conveys their divine words to us.
Pardon our intrusion. Lord Serenoa Wolfort of Glenbrook has escorted us home on behalf of King Regna.
The Hierophant speaks to you.
This is the Minister of Religion, Edor Delmira, one of the Saintly Seven and the only one permitted to hear the voice of the Hierophant.
Serenoa Wolford, we thank you for your gracious gesture. We are overjoyed and humbled that you have chosen to grace our nation with your presence.
I am unworthy of such high praise, but honored nonetheless.
House Wolford and Hyzante have shared a deep bond ever since the Sultan War. On behalf of the Saintly Seven, it is my wish that our friendship will be as strong as it was with your Lord Father.
But of course, I strive to one day measure up to his greatness.
You will also, in time, succeed Lord Simon as advisor to the mining venture, I hear. The Hierophant would hear your true thoughts on the endeavor.
I think it a stepping stone towards peace between the three nations. I think it a valuable endeavor that will fairly profit everyone. I fear the intentions of the three nations are not aligned, since a storm is brewing on the horizon. I think it is a significant stepping stone towards peace between the three nations.
I think it a significant stepping stone toward peace between the three nations.
A safe reply, to say the least, Lord Serenoa.
It is an ideal that I can only hope is shared by all those involved.
If I might ask, what is the ideal to which the Holy One aspires?
I would share the goddess's blessing with all of Norzelia. The Holy One wishes for a world where people are equal. The goddess always watches over those who believe in her. May you all receive her divine protection.
I apologize for visiting you in secret, but there's something I must ask you. I have heard that the people of Hyzante live in equality. They say the goddess showers blessings upon those who follow her teachings. But is that the only reason?
Oh, a studious one you are, Prince Roland. King Regna has raised you well. Of course, the goddess's teachings are at the core of the equality our citizens enjoy. But there are many measures taken by the Holy State to ensure the happiness of our people.
Minister Lila's Ministry of Medicine, which dedicates itself to the study of preserving life, is another example of this. The results of their research have allowed many people to overcome illness and injury and live long, healthy lives.
Fascinating. I would like to hear more about Hyzante's medical discoveries.
I see we managed to pique your interest. Minister Lila, I leave our guests in your capable hands. Pray, show them around the ministry and let them admire Hyzante's pursuit of life and magic.
Oh, we do have one side quest. I mean, not side quest, per se, but side story.
Brother, where is Roland? I've yet to see him today.
And you shan't, for he has left. Took it upon himself to join the mission abroad.
He did? I see.
Again, prioritizing his personal wishes above his station. Is there no end to his selfishness?
You haven't any love for him, have you?
Love. I would rather think of him as little as humanly possible.
How can you say that? He's family.
Royal family, and our duty is to the crown above all. Do not look to Roland for inspiration if you wish to carry yourself in a manner befitting your station, dear Cordelia.
Man, they do not get along at all. I think Cordelia just wants everyone to get along. Roland believes that he can do his best work by going out of the castle and interacting with the world, while Franny believes that he should be sticking to the castle and that's that, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, well, let's check out Central Hyzante then. Or Hyzante. Hyzante. I can never remember. I'm gonna have to write that down. Very pretty.
Look, a Rosellan. I heard she's an envoy from Glenbrook.
Be that as it may, is her kind even allowed to enter our halls?
can only assume she received special permission, since Minister Lila's showing her around.
Ironic, considering the wishes of us researchers are hardly ever granted.
What a splendid facility you have here. I can see why your nation excels in the medical arts.
Normally, only ministry staff are allowed in. Having outsiders view our work is unprecedented.
We cannot thank you enough for your generosity.
If I heard correctly, it sounds like you are researching life itself.
That we are. In order to cure illnesses and injuries, we must set our sights high.
Even illnesses deemed uncurable in other nations?
There is no miracle panacea in this world, but we like to think nothing is impossible.
Wonderful. And would you be willing to share those results with others, should you achieve them?
If you believe in the goddess's teachings, yes. At least, that is what I would expect the Holy One to say.
Minister Lila, the preparations for the experiment are complete.
My apologies, but I must get back to work. You are free to take a look around. However, I ask you to not enter the restricted areas.
Of course, nothing is free in the Ministry, nor anywhere in Hyzante. And of course, when people are forced to adhere to teachings, there are some who will resist.
Who might you be?
Just a researcher, nothing more.
What was his problem?
Serenoa, I could use some fresh air, if you don't mind.
But of course, let us take a break outside.
Okay, so I think it's pretty clear that at the very least, Lila and I can't remember his name, and E begins with an E as well. I can't remember names that begin with an E. I don't know why my brain is having trouble remembering names that begin with an E for this game for some reason. Or that, yeah. Because I wasn't able to think of Eridor, and I'm not able to think of... Was it Enhard? He's right there, I'll figure it out. But at the very least, those two seem like they're dissatisfied with the current state of Hyzante. Hyzante. That's what it is, Hyzante. So, because Lila is saying, well, the Holy One would say, not giving her, in order to avoid giving her own opinion on it. And hold on. Can I scroll a bit to see? X-Arm. That's what it was. X-Arm. X-Arm is very clearly against what kind of goes on. He says stuff along the lines of, well, if I had anything to do with it, Frederica would be just fine. if I had anything to do with it, this would be happening, or my opinion on this is this. And he very frequently calls us out going, oh, a very safe response. Sort of thing like that. Like, he clearly is not one for putting up airs for politics and things like that. He's very, very blunt. And while on the surface it can be like, okay, well, that's not his job. His job is kind of to be blunt, because he is the Minister of, like, Military Affairs. So putting on airs isn't exactly his strong suit. His strong suit is duking it out and just being very, very blunt. Which I find to be very interesting, since he seems to be against some of these, like, teachings and stuff like that. Very, very interesting. And as for, why can't I think of your name? Sorcery. Sorcery seems to be in the... I can never remember names. I'm gonna have to, like, write down a bunch of names with their faces and stuff like that on them. Or maybe I'll interact with them to the point in which I get finally familiar with them. Sorcery seems kind of in between the two of them, stating only really what is needed, and specifically... well, that's about it. Only stating what is needed. Conveying... essentially being the messenger, not including anything of their own. Similar to that of Lila, but not in the same sort of sarcastic way, I guess, if that makes any sense. He's like, okay, so here's the deal. Here's what it is. He's very much, I think, like Lila, but with a little bit more, and this may come with his age, as he is older than the two of them, than Exarm and Lila. He has a little bit more of the airs for, like, politics and stuff like that. So he came and he delivered the news, in the most polite way possible, saying this is the deal that was made. I apologize for it, but it is how it must be done. And also stating stuff along the lines of, like, it may be better due to this specific reason in our religion. I don't remember the exact word that it was used, but, like, in our religion, the Rosellians can't step foot in the city or whatever, so it may be best for her. So he's, like, in between the two of them, in which he's not going to go and project his opinions out there, but he's not saying that the opinions of that are of his own. However, he's not being as sarcastic and implying as heavily that he disagrees with them as Lila, for example. Okay, well, that's enough about me. Or about what I've seen. Let's do this. How are you faring, Frederick? Better than before, thank you. I should like to rest in the shade for a spell. Of course. Rest as long as you like. I should take a moment to get to know the city. Some merchants may be open for business during the exploration. They maybe sell, like, rare items. Oh, excuse me. I need to remember to breathe. Items you will not find at the provisioner in the encampment. It would be wise to speak with any shopkeepers you meet. And just by triple checking that you're okay. I always knew that the goddess and her followers looked upon the Roselle with disdain. Yet I cannot help but worry for my people. The sins they are atoned for are not their own. One cannot help but wonder why they must continue to pay for them. has less to do with the goddess's teachings than it does producing salt. Makes me wonder why other citizens do not labor at the source. Quite difficult to understand why, in this nation that touts equality, Rizal must suffer such discrimination. I'm thinking one of these two. I mean, this one is 100% correct, and honestly, I think that's what I believe, but in terms of discussing the politics as we are in this situation, I think it's one of these two. I think we question this, but not openly, so we go with, I find it difficult to understand why. I suppose my ancestors did something so unforgivable that we have yet to earn the goddess's forgiveness. The Rizal who committed those crimes and we bring it all back to the first point again. Like I said, I think all of those are correct choices. Specifically that first one in particular. In House Wolford, people are judged by their deeds and not the circumstances of their birth. Do you wish to enter the Ministry of Medicine? Not yet. It's rare for the foreign dignitaries to be allowed into the ministry. Take your time looking around. How convenient that you have some healing item. Oh my gosh, did I just jump off of there, basically? I'm pretty sure I just, like, kind of jumped off the edge there. Yeah, if you kind of step along right, you can kind of flop around a bit. Duet. From the source to the shield, and the thriving city between them, I can scarcely decide what has me the most impressed. I can only imagine the people feel the same way, judging by the smiles on their faces. I can. Ha ha ha. There's things to the Hierophant that we want for nothing. I think Benedict is smart, though. I don't think he was right to call it out right then and there. As Thorleib said, he's like, oh, a non-believer, the goddess can do anything. I don't think he was right to point it out, but I think he is right in which it's something along the lines of, like, can you truly create, like, absolute equality? Because I don't think you can. I think he's right. In theory, yeah, you can. In theory. In practice, though, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for humans. Humans naturally have simply like a want for more, and especially due to the fact that in order to gain true equality, that means that everyone has to be truly equal. Not just in terms of possessions, but in this case in terms of effort as well. Because let's say my neighbor and I guess, are earning, we'll put it fairly simple, and we'll just say money. We're earning the same amount of money, but we're working different jobs. In terms of the money, we're equal. I wouldn't want any more than they have, and they wouldn't want any of what I have because we're making the same. However, let's say one of the two of us has a harder job. At some point, someone's not going to be happy because they feel like they're doing more work for less. Like their hours are not as highly valued. Or their skill is not as highly valued due to the amount of time that they took to learn the skills or something like that. It doesn't work in practice. It flat outright doesn't. And people will always be jealous. They'll always find something to be jealous of. It's... I don't want to say it's natural, but I also am not going to deny it either. People always want to look better. People are naturally tend to be somewhat competitive. In what way that shows, though, it's very different. So I think, again, Benedict is right. You can never be truly equal. It doesn't work like that. You can get pretty darn close, but there's no such thing as a true equal in terms of lives, I guess. It doesn't work like that. Being truly equal is a purely mathematical thing, and therefore cannot translate into a state of well-being and stuff like that. I don't know, that's a... there's my 2 cents on it, my little bit of philosophy for the day, or whatever you want to call it. Sorry for spouting all that out. The goddess decides what those at the Ministry of Medicine should study, so they do not squander their time pondering it themselves. I do also find it interesting that they stated that they're studying life, not the illnesses. Our medicine is focused pretty much on getting rid of all the bad stuff, while they seem more intent on promoting the good stuff. I have to wonder if maybe that sort of thing could occur. We do have some cases of that. We have some cases in which we actually have both versions. Take, for example, things for bacteria. You have antibiotics to get rid of bacteria, and you have probiotics to promote the growth of bacteria. So I wonder, clearly both have their own scenarios. You got bad bacteria, you want to get rid of it. You want more good bacteria because of something bad that's happening, then you use a probiotic. You know, there's two sides to it, and I wonder if focusing on one is truly all that you can do. Take, for example, things like cancer research. I know this is a tough topic for some, but I think it's relevant, and I apologize if this is not exactly a friendly topic for all. But certain places are choosing to actively fight the disease itself. They're trying to find ways to get rid of cancer. They're choosing certain new things to basically kill off the cancer cells. Get rid of the bad. While other places are simply focusing on, okay, well, what if we treat the symptoms and eventually have it go away on its own? It's not as black and white as that. I understand that fully. It's not as black as white as I'm making it sound. But for the most part, there's some who are focusing on the survival of the patient, where there are others who are focusing more on getting rid of the disease. And both are effective. There's no one right way to go about it, and there's reasons why different kinds of cancers have different treatment plans and stuff like that, because there is no one right way. So I think it's interesting that they focus specifically on life itself, and not a combination of the two like our modern world does, our present real-life world, where we focus on both getting rid of the disease and promoting the livelihood of the patient. I don't know, it's a very interesting world that they've created here, and I don't know, I'm comparing it, which I know is not exactly always the greatest thing to do in a video game world, because it's video games, you don't have to care what they say, you have literally magic. But I still find it very, very interesting if they're going to bring politics into it, what sort of stuff that we can compare without actually going into politics as in, like, government. I don't want to talk about controversial topics and stuff like that, but we can talk theory. I don't think there's anything wrong with theory. Like, I don't know, I don't think that's bad. Now, we start talking about stuff being put into practice, and that's when stuff starts to get hairy, because that's when emotions tend to pop in, and Stuff like that. Theory's math. Theory works because theory's math. That's not all math, but you get my point, which it doesn't involve an infinite number of variables all working in perfectly as intended, sort of thing. Weird tangents, I apologize. Citizens, how do you do? Have you seen the great big wall around the city? It's called the Goddess's Shield. It protects us and assault from any who would do us harm. Welcome. How can I be of service today? Ah, you also have the stones. And an oil jug. Renders a selected square flammable. Ah. Interesting. However, I don't see a current use. Hyzante is a blessed nation, where everyone lives in peace. But if you happen to see anyone suspicious, excuse me, be sure to alert the nearest sentry. So clearly, it's not what they claim it to be. Too worried about anybody going robbing during this hour in which everyone's all focused on praying and not paying attention to their possessions? Oh no, we make sure that that doesn't happen. No one would, because everyone's equal, and no one would ever think of stealing. And yet they have sentries everywhere, saying if you see suspicious people, go and report it. So it's not as. Could the streets really be that safe in a city this wealthy? Wish I could say the same at Glenbrook. Speaking of which, we should get ourselves some souvenirs before we head home. Sure your father'd be happy to know you thought of it. The source? Sorry, I can't say I know much about it. It's a sacred place that a select few are allowed to enter. The goddess' teachings condemn the Roselle to backbreaking labor at the source to atone for the crimes of their form-bearers. No, it is the way of their nation, and yet it doesn't sit well with me. Pray, take care of Lady Frederica. I have no doubt this weighs heaviest upon her. What you doing there, bud? It must be nice having the freedom to roam about another's nation. I just kind of like parkoured across there, didn't I? The goddess is on our side. Should another war arise, I know she would ensure the Holy State's victory. You cannot pass through here. Patrol around the source is always tight. The source is just ahead, but you will have to turn back. Only those with the proper permission can enter. I must ask you to turn back. As one of the Saintly Seven, I managed to burn the production and shipment of salt. That is to say, I single-handedly bear the burden of Hyzante's finances. I can only imagine it was bestowed upon with such a veritable position in recognition of my unwavering faith to the goddess. Mr. Sorsley oversees all Hyzante's dealings in salt, the foundation of their nation's wealth. A crucial job even among the Saintly Seven. You have nothing new to say. You've learned all you can. Okay, well that's nice to know. Hyzante, it's a wonderful city. Please enjoy your time here to your heart's content. However, I ask that you not interrupt Minister Sorsley's work. And please stay away from the source. This is just between you and me, but not everyone is happy with the Hierophant. Though I honestly don't understand why. A lot more than meets the eye. Mr. Exxon is always thinking of ways to make our nation even greater. He may be young, but he is also a role model to us all. Though it seems he views Minister Sorcery with distaste. I heard that Minister Exxon was in charge of military and diplomatic affairs. It seems he goes above and beyond for his nation. Can't help but wonder from where his aversions to Minister Sorcery stem. Excuse me. Everyone in Hyzante knows the goddess's teachings. Obey the teachings and serve your nation, and you shall receive the goddess's blessing. It is not wealth that drives Hyzante, but the faith and happiness of her people. We cannot ignore wealth's importance in the equation. How does the Holy State choose such balance? Seems idealistic to think a nation can be built on faith alone. The people are left dissatisfied with their faith not wavered. But what is it that brings the people such happiness? I thought the answer different for everyone. I feel like with X-Arm, I can be a little more blunt, if that makes any sense. I feel like it could be just a little bit more. This is what we're doing. This is what I think. Stuff like that. And he's not, he calls me out every single time that I've said like that's a safe decision. He calls me out on it. He specifically says, "Oh, well, that's a very safe and well thought out response. It's a very methodical response. I can tell you're holding your words," or stuff like that. So I feel like I can be a little more blunt. So I want to choose it carefully because I feel like I'm actually going to get answers out of this. I actually want to know what his opinion on this. What is it that brings people such happiness? The answer is simple. Following the teachings. Do so and you shall be blessed by the goddess herself. All who live in Hyzante can see that happiness comes with those blessings. I see. Thank you, Minister. I see as well. I see. I guess... I don't know. Fair enough, I guess. I guess. He is still a member of the ministry. I guess. Fair enough. I'm not happy with it, but fair enough, I understand it. The Saintly Seven have the people completely under their thumb. Okay, now I'll take a step back inside. The goddess saves all who believe in her. We search so that we may aid her to that end. I can't bash that, that's fair. They claim their city is peaceful, but there are soldiers aplenty in the streets and ministry. Someone else caught on to this, okay. Like I said, they claim that everything's all peaceful and yet they have sentries everywhere. That's a little sus. Really makes one wonder. I see that sparkle. Ice amulets. I'm assuming that's similar to that. Reduces ice resistance by 30, making it to 0 instead of negative 30. Oh, I saw another glimmer. The Ministry's research helps save lives, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Treatment notes. More lore to read towards the end of this. Oh, I can just take a swim, I guess. This is as far as you go. Only those with the goddess's permission can enter. Researchers are highly respected in Hyzante. The Ministry is a symbol of our nation's knowledge and the source of a people's pride. Okay. Areas off limits, only those with permission may enter. Okay. It's my honor to help the sick and injured. The study of life fascinates me so. I may even unlock the secret to immortality someday. I think that question is not a more or less can you, but more or less should you. Researchers immerse themselves in whatever the goddess bids them to study. Devoting our time to those studies is what brings us the greatest joy. Oh, casually stealing money, I guess. The goddess's teachings unite the people. They are what govern this nation. Perhaps there is something to be learned in all this. This area is off limits. There are more delicate matters being researched up ahead, and as such, I have to ask you to turn back. And this is also locked, I can tell by the giant lock on the door. I think that's about it, though. I think we've spoken to everybody. I guess I'll run outside and do one more look around. I think I've been inside all the houses and stuff like that, so I guess it's in the exploration. Let's regroup with the others.
We got our hands on a fine souvenir thanks to Lady Frederica.
It is quite the feat indeed. Serenoa has terrible taste when it comes to gifts.
Thank you indeed, Frederica.
It was my pleasure.
Should we ask Minister Lila about what ails Lord Simon?
No. Even now, Lord Simon commands great influence. We cannot let others know about his condition.
I understand. Not even our allies can know of our weaknesses, lest they use them against us.
Indeed. We cannot risk exposing ourselves to such danger, for the young lord's sake as well.
What was that?
It appears there is a stir around the ministry.
I shall investigate.
So that'll be our battle, I think, for next time. I think now we'll go and review the lore. Let's see, is there any side stories? I'm not seeing any. No, okay, so that'll be for next time then. I think what we'll do right now is go into our War Chronicle, and let's go into notes or information. Okay, not that. No, notes, yeah. And then we have 5 new pieces of lore to go over. So we'll go ahead and we'll read these, and then I think we'll go ahead and call it there. Secret Tactics, Scroll of Heaven. Cavalry and Hawk Riders are known for their superior mobility. This grants them the ability to move freely across the battlefield, although venturing too far from their allies leaves them without any support, puts them at risk of a concentrated enemy attack. They should therefore stay close to the main force and utilize their mobility to either flank or get behind enemies who draw near. While acting alone can be dangerous, a team of 3 or more cavalry units or Hawk Riders can prove quite advantageous in battle. They can provide much needed support to each other and actively intercept enemy troops or assail soldiers lurking in the distance. Doing so would separate them from allies with healing magic, so taking recovery pellets would be a must. Alone, cavalry units and Hawk Riders are challenging to handle. Their real strength lies in their numbers. What is the best way to make use of their exceptional mobility? The quest gives insight into a commander's true worth. One must be swift, but never hasty. Speed can be your greatest asset, or your greatest enemy. I have noticed that it is not always wise to use up all the movement of your cavalry units. Whereas games like Fire Emblem, you want to rush in, you want to be very aggressive. In this game, I'm noticing that you want to be very, very defensive. You'll find opportunities to attack. You just have to let them come first, though. Whereas in Fire Emblem, it's like I create my opportunities to attack. They don't just occur and I take them. I make them by being overly aggressive and one-turning the stage and stuff like that. So it is interesting to have a different strategy game where I need to really think about every single movement, as clearly the game knows how to combo. And it's not going to be nice to me, especially since I chose the hardest difficulty. The history of Glenbrook. The Kingdom of Glenbrook is called the oldest of the three nations existing today. Though there have been changes to the branch families, the blood of the founders still runs strong in the veins of the current King Ragnar. The holy state of Hyzante asserts that their nation was founded first according to the goddess's scriptures, and that Glenbrook's long history is a fabrication of later generations. Glenbrook, however, has continued to ignore this claim. The Grand Duchy of Esfrost was founded by the Archduke's family, who shared a common ancestor with the royal family of Glenbrook. They insisted upon their right to succeed the throne up until the Salt Iron War began, denied the current royal family's rule. But when the war began, they acknowledged the family's legitimacy, and the two nations formed a secret alliance. It is said that King Ragnar required the former Archduke Sigmund to officially recognize his rule in order to enter the alliance. Interesting. So it seems like Glenbrook was more aggressive in getting this alliance to work. And apparently the two nations were founded by brothers? It was founded by the Archduke's family, who shared a common ancestor with the royal family of Glenbrook. Okay, so maybe not brothers, but still within the same family tree sort of thing. Very interesting. Development of the Norzelia Consortium. After the Salt Iron War fought over Hyzante's sole ownership of salt, the Norzelia Consortium was established to oversee the equal distribution of salt and iron into the realm. The three nations brought together trade specialists to create this neutral and impartial organization as agreed upon in the Accords. The Consortium's success in fair trade contributed greatly to the reconstruction of Norzelia, which had been greatly ravished in the war. The Kingdom of Glenbrook, rich in agriculture and fisheries, prospered due to the stable influx of salt from the Consortium. People were able to produce large quantities of salted meats, dried fish, dairy products, and more. Exports of these goods helped restore national power. Though it was thought to be a dawn of a new age for Norzelia, Hyzante began to strengthen its voice within the Consortium as the reconstruction progressed. In Esfrost, on the other hand, the situation could not have been worse. Its already small population suffered the greatest number of casualties during the war, and reviving the iron industry was taking longer than anticipated. To make matters worse, salt prices soared within the duchy due to taxes and transportation fees from the distant Hyzante. Though iron's exports were meant to balance salt's imports, the nation's labor and iron shortage caused it to accrue a large trade deficit. Though the Consortium was meant to adjust that imbalance, it did not take any drastic measures. Rather, it leaned more towards Hyzante and establishing salt as the main axis of trade. There are some who believe that a Hierophant, unable to accept that the war had ended in a draw due to injuries on all sides, had a hand in this and wished Esfrost to take responsibility for the war. Though the truth is unknown. It is undeniable that Esfrost is the only nation at such a major disadvantage. The duchy's dissatisfaction naturally mounted, and a tension much like the one before the Salt Iron War began descended upon Norzelia. concerned, King Regna and Simone Wolfort then summoned the other nations to participate in a joint mining venture at the Grand New Zealand mines. Their aim was not only to ease the tension between the Duchy and the Holy State, but also to offer support from the former irons industry and correct the trade imbalance between both nations. The entire realm watches as this new venture with hopeful eyes, praying that it will finally create a much-needed balance between salt and iron and restore the original functions of the Norzelia Consortium. If it succeeds, then perhaps our realm will finally know peace, and the tragedies of the Salt-Iron War will be a thing of the past. I see, so Salt-Iron War was originally fought over salt, and then trade was established to make sure that it wouldn't be fought over salt anymore. But since the Hierophant specifically refuses to accept the fact that the war was a draw, they still expect Aesfrost, who already took the greatest amount of losses for an already small population, to fully recover, take responsibility, pay back debts, while they're still continuing to accrue debts. And that caused tensions once again, which is why the most recent thing occurred in which we kind of all did the whole ceremony thing, and now we're speaking with everybody. The Eternal Norzelia River. The Norzelia River has two tributaries with unique properties. The western branch, running from the snowy Norzelia Mountains, is filled with water year-round. Although the water levels are now under control, the tributary was once quite turbulent and prone to floods. Many areas with swift currents still remain, however, and prove challenging to inexperienced sailors. Only Aesfrost ships, armed with the full knowledge of the river's waters, are able to navigate those currents. The other tributaries, stemming from the eastern deserts, flows calmly throughout. The gentle sloping of the river also allows for easy upstream passage. Water transport flourishes for most of the year, although low water levels in some seasons make the voyage near impossible for larger vessels. The two branches converge into a single, mighty river, Glenbrook, and flow south to the Norzelia Falls. Okay, so now we know where the rivers kind of do, and what they're like. And the treatment notes. Some of these appear to be somewhat redacted, with patient names being crossed out, but I can still learn quite a bit. 61-year-old female had compound fractures in both feet and was treated with recently developed curative magic. The patient fully healed and was able to walk several weeks faster than usual treatments. 42-year-old male suffered from heart disease. The treatment... Well, there were few options to successfully treat this. After administering the Ministry of Medicine's newest remedy, the attack ceased and the patient's condition stabilized. A 19-year-old female had a laceration on her calf and showed signs of necrosis due to delayed treatment. Too advanced, unfortunately, to save a limb. Required amputation below the knee. A 25-year-old male had an unknown illness. He was attempted to be treated with various remedies and succeeded in saving the patient's life. An autopsy will be conducted to better understand the nature of the disease. Interesting. So, half of them worked incredibly well, and the other half were utter failures. Requiring amputation and having a patient die versus full recovery and even faster recovery than it would be expected. Very, very interesting with where the medicine goes. Excuse me, sorry. I muted as quickly as I could just to be sure that I wouldn't get that much into the mic, but I still started off with that. My brain just forgot how to be human for a second. Ended up choking on my own saliva. I'm sorry, that was really disgusting. I did not mean to, like, just say that like that. That's my bad. Excuse me. But I find it interesting. It talks about focusing so much on life, I figured it would be mostly focusing on treating the symptoms, not so much the disease. However, in this case, with the 25-year-old male, it does specifically mention that they attempted various remedies, meaning that they attempted to get rid of the disease, not so much to deal with the symptoms of said disease. Or perhaps it means both. But still, it's not quite what I expected to hear, I guess. It's slightly different. And maybe that's just my mind overanalyzing a simple word or something like that, but I don't know. Remedies to me is more, I don't know. No, actually, you know what? I guess it would be... would probably be something along the lines of attempted various curatives if they were trying to get rid of the disease specifically. Remedies is probably treating symptoms and stuff like that. However, symptom treaters tend to work regardless of the disease. Given a few, of course, specific circumstances. But fever reducers will still be fever reducers. Most of the time, it'll still do the same effect. Painkillers will still nullify some pain to some extent. So it's, I don't know, it's interesting. Antibiotics will still get rid of bacteria. Probiotics will still promote the growth of bacteria, stuff like that. Of course, again, there's some exceptions to this, and I understand this, but it's interesting. Very interesting. But I think with that, I think we'll call it here, and we shall do battle next time. Let us save. And then let us switch over. And we'll do that. And should be good. Alrighty. Wow. That was fun. I think I've gotten better at battle now. I think the big takeaway that I got from this is I'm getting better. The second battle wasn't a total wipe. I felt like I held my own pretty well. It didn't just come down to me cowering in a corner. I still had a strategy of going and taking on several troops. I wasn't just sitting in a corner and having to take them on one by one by one by one by one. So I think I did pretty well. I think having multiple units there really helped out because some of them had more advanced things that I wasn't able to fully take advantage of before, such as ranged attacks, simply being a tank in general, but also being able to provoke and stuff like that. That is definitely something to keep in mind. And it was definitely helpful. Keeping them away from squishies and stuff like that. Things like poison. Poison was incredibly powerful, especially the fact that I could give it to 2 enemies at once, or I could strike 2 enemies or something like that. It was just incredibly nice. Especially the fact that I can attack 1 enemy, get a follow-up, then move to a different place that wouldn't give me the follow-up, but place me in a better position for the next turn, and use something like Poison Strike to hit the enemy from farther away, and give them an extra effect that's going to deal with damage, or maybe possibly even remove them entirely once it becomes the start of their turn. It's also interesting how the poison takes effect at the start of their turn, not after their action, because it means that it can completely deny an extra turn. We did that with, I think, 2 or 3 of the enemy soldiers, when we got rid of them the instant their turn started. So we were able to let them stay. Which are there some cases in which it would be better to get rid of them for positioning in future turns and stuff like that, since they technically occupy a space until they disappear. But that's tactics for specific scenarios. But I think I'm understanding a lot better now. I still have gripes about the UI and stuff like that. I find the camera very annoying to work with, and the turn order thing is very confusing. I was trying to look for one specific unit's turn, but it ended up looping and going backwards and stuff like that, so I couldn't tell where in the world I was in the turn order. Like, I kind of wished it looked more like Octopath's turns, where it has everybody all at once, and then it slowly eliminates each one as time goes by, and then it loads in a new set. And we shouldn't be able to look backwards on turns, because that's a little weird. Because to me, a turn order is more like a queue, not a loop. But, I don't know. I'm not the game designer, so what right do I have to say anything? I can still provide my opinion, but that's all it is. It's an opinion. But I mean, besides, like I said, I have my gripes with the camera and some of the UI stuff, but besides that, I'm loving this game so far. The story is very, very interesting. I love the politics and like the stuff like, and the tensions and stuff like that of the characters and the different kingdoms, states, governments of this world. It's very, very cool to see that, and it's very cool to watch them develop history and how they all have grown separately yet together, and how the history of the world has shaped them and stuff like that. It's very, very cool, and I think the world building is very well done. And I thoroughly have been enjoying the battle outside of, you know, my standard gripes. I think the tactics are incredible and provide an amazing challenge. It's been a long time since I've had a challenge like this. It's been a long time since I've been able to play through and actually worry about losing all of my units. Normally when I play stuff like Fire Emblem or whatever, I make it so that I cannot lose a single unit. But in this game, since there's no permanent death or stuff like that, I just kind of have to settle for making sure that at least one unit gets by. And the game does genuinely put the pressure on you to go and do that, which I think is very, very impressive. And it's very, very cool. In the training scenarios even, which I'm very happy that they included that, because I was like, man, I'm still learning, and now my units are getting farther behind, which is a problem. But it's nice now that they have it there, so if anybody's behind, I can catch them back up. That's a very nice touch on their part. Yeah, even then I lost Gila in the second training battle. I still didn't have perfect tactics, so it's very, very nice to have the challenge, and I really appreciate the game bringing it on, sort of thing. I'm excited to see what future challenges it gives me and how the complexities of battle go and develop. You know, it talked about puddles, for example. I don't think we were meant to see that for a little while, as we hadn't seen anything that could freeze. But since that ice arrow came along, we saw frozen terrain, and we saw the puddles, and we learned about how lightning interacts with water, and stuff like that. And it's very, very cool. And I can see this system getting a lot more complicated, which I'm very excited for. But, to come at a different time. Basically, to keep it simple, game good. Me like. But I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, feel free to leave a follow. It's a nice and easy way to say, hey, I like what you're doing, keep up the good work. And it's also a good way to get notifications through both Twitch and Twitter. So if you want to see more of what I do, which is usually RPGs with the occasional action, roguelike, platformer sort of thing on the side, feel free to do that. But regardless of how you choose to show your support, it means a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it happens to be wherever you are. And I hope to see you all later. Thanks for hanging out.